Pretty hot. We have September in Poland and about 25 centigrade. It's unheard. So today I would like to tell you about surnames, last names. I realized that many of you have Polish surnames, last names. Okay, let's stay with the form surnames because it's more familiar for me. So many of you have Polish surnames. I bet that not everyone knew about that. So I've decided to type in Google najpopularniejsze polskie nazwiska, and Google showed me a website with 20,000 records. I've noticed that most of our surnames is associated with something. I mean, it was years ago when our ancestors were creating surnames. They were basing on professions, personality traits, places, and appearance. So if you suppose that you have something Polish in your last name, surname, maybe I could help you to decode it. So at the beginning, let's start with 10 most popular, most common surnames. First is Nowak. It's very similar to Polish word nowy, which means something new. So maybe your ancestor was first here and the other people called him Nowak. Actually, it makes sense. I saw also another combination like Nowak with V and Nowak with this mark in the middle. But yeah, I know this surname is very popular around the world. In Czech Republic, Germany probably. Next one, I thought this is the most common, Kowalski. So many of you read it as Kowalski, don't you? I also saw versions with Y at the end, but in Polish it's just Kowalski. I think, well, I'm sure it's connected to word Kowal, which means the blacksmith. So Mr. Blacksmithsky. Probably your grandfather was a blacksmith. Probably he was a rich man, because a blacksmith was very rich during those days. Vishnevsky. As I know, it's also common in Germany, but I'm sure you read it differently.
Vishnevsky.
Here in Poland, Wiśnia means cherry, so maybe your ancestor was kind of planter? Dąbrowski. I'm pretty sure it's connected to a tree, basically to the oak. In Polish we call it dąb. Dąbrowa. Years ago it was the oaks forest. Now this word, I think it's not very common. It's kind of old-fashioned, but we have many villages and many cities with Dąbrowa. I mean, Dąbrowa in the name of the city. For example, Dąbrowa Górnicza, Dąbrowa Białostocka, Dąbrowa Zielona, Dąbrowa Tarnowska, and I'm sure about more than 20 other. So many Polish villages and also cities use this word. I have no idea how this name could came into existence. Maybe someone was a forester, or he lived close to the forest. Lewandowski. I bet you know this surname. You know, one of the most famous Polish football player. They call him Lewy, but it's a bit funny. Because Lewy in Polish is irreverent, or bad in something. For example, ty jesteś lewy do roboty means you're a slouch in your job. Mostly it's about manual labor. But Lewy isn't Lewy in football, is he? Weird. In the description you can find the etymology of this name. Maybe you'll find something more proper, but I believe it might be connected to word lavenda. Maybe very first version of this name was Lewandowski. Wojcik. So first impression when I heard this name was the word wuj, but wuj we write with normal U, we call it U zwykłe. And Wojcik is with U with this, ukreskowane, we call it that way. So it makes no sense. I was searching for etymology of this name and I found something like that. It might be connected with the word wójt. In Polish, it's a social function, mostly in small village community. I mean in gmina, which is connection of a few villages, maybe 3, 5 or 7 villages, it's one gmina. So wójt is the major president of this gmina. And Wojcik, it might be a nickname or maybe a helper of this wójt, maybe it was something like that post. Next one, Kaminski. This one is very easy. Kamin in Polish is just a stone. So I'm sure this surname bases on the stone, on Polish stone. But what was your ancestor doing? Maybe he was a mine worker, or maybe he had a mine. Are you a successor of a mine? Kowalczyk. There is also another name similar to Kowalski. Kowalczyk, it's not pretty much different. I believe it's just another form of Kowalski. Kowalczyk, Kowalik, Kowaluk, Kowalczyński, and so on. Zieliński. This one seems to be easy, because zielony is just green color. But what the heck was your ancestor doing? How did he get this surname? Szymański. Okay, this one isn't similar to anything I know. It's not a bird, tree, any profession, maybe place. They say in Wikipedia that Szymański comes from very common, very popular name, Shimon. Probably there was a rich nobleman who founded a village. He called this village maybe Szymanowice, Szymany, Szymanów. By the way, we have about 20 villages and small cities with that name. Those villages are scattered around Poland. Those days, people were calling themselves like they were using a city or a village and the first name, and they were connecting it. So Paweł z Szymanowic, for example, Darek z Kielc, and so on. So maybe there was, let's say, Paweł z Szymanów, Paweł z Szymanowic, and after some time they changed it to Paweł Szymański, Paweł Szymanowski, and similar things. So maybe you have Polish surname or last name and you want to know what does it mean? You can ask me in a comment below. I will certainly answer. Remember about all those thumbs, likes, comments, shares or whatever you can do, because it's very important to me. It helps me to exist here on YouTube. Bye bye! A zatem do zobaczenia w następnym Let's Polish!